think love triangles work so well because there's so many secrets. You'd never know who they're going to end up with.
That was the first of the sexual scenes, but of course, 30 years on, it's kind of twice a week, isn't it? You're seeing everybody at it.
For God's sake, get your shirt back on.
Bit of a cliche, though. Getting caught on the hay with a farmman.
Have you seen where Bob's disappeared to?
How about that for safe sex?
Much better.
In spite of the arrival of city folk to stir up the storylines, Emmerdale faced stiff competition from a grittier rival, EastEnders.
Got your airline tickets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark's looking at them now.
Ring and Prayer Airlines. Don't talk like that when they're about to leave for the airport.
And by 1993, its future was hanging in the balance.
The powers that be read the riot act out to our bosses and said, you're going to have to do something to boost the viewing figures.
There was talk of it being pulled.
One of the things we wanted to do was reposition Emmerdale in the audience's mind.
Enter the creator of Grange Hill and Brookside, soap supremo Sir Phil Redmond.
The only thing I was asked to do was save the show, right? And that was why it was such fantastic. I just had a complete blank check.
When any new producer comes on the show, they want to change the titles, they want to put their stamp on it.
Basically, the things I wanted to retain were was that rural USP. I was different from EastEnders, different from Brookie, different from Corrie, but it just got a bit mushy. You know, all the characters had intermarried and they'd split up the family units.
A plan was needed to reboot Emmerdale, but big ideas don't just drop out of the sky. Or do they?
How would we actually start again? A village out in the Dales, you know, so it's got no big motorways, no railways where you could have a train crash. But what can happen to something actually literally falling out the sky? So that's when I came up with the idea, like, we'll drop a plane on the village.
They said, we're going to have a new producer coming in and he's going to wipe a few people out. And we thought, oh, well, who? No, you won't know until the scripts arrive.
Of course, everyone was going to the back pages going, right, who's died? Who's died?
Oh. Everybody was a bit wary of me, so I got the cast together and I said, look, this is kind of what the story's about. And it's all going to be great, you know.
When it was produced, it was quite incredible.
I remember this completely as a viewer watching this. Yeah, thinking you can't kill Frank Tate.
Frank.
I've got to get them out, Frank! They're burning!
My horses.
Get them well away from the fire!
I said to them, I need a wing of a plane to come flying down and hit Joe's car.
Look out!
Ooh. Look at those stunts. Look. Now, nowadays, that would get a soap award.
It was one of those big stunts that everyone was talking about, and it's like, oh, it's a big plane crash in Emmerdale. Make sure you tune in.
Everyone gets affected, and you don't know who's going to come out of it alive. And I think that's when you sort of bring the camaraderie and the community just comes together and bonds, you know what I mean?
Better get down there, see if I can do anything.
All right, but be careful.
It was amazing. I was really proud of it.
There are so many people in shock. Some of the stories are horrific.
About 10 minutes in, I got a phone call from the programme director, you know, and said he just had the first early ratings in. He said, well, you did it. You pulled it off.
We call it the banana moment, when Emmerdale kind of curveballed into, you know, something that it is now.
Didn't necessarily know it would be TV history, but certainly wanted to push the ratings up, and we certainly achieved that.
We lost some viewers, but we accrued so many more. It had the desired effect.
It turned the whole show around, and that's why we're still going again today. So thank you, Phil.
A week of high-octane episodes led to the show's largest audience to date, peaking at 16 million viewers. Emmerdale now stood shoulder to shoulder with its rivals.
Yeah, I was going to make history one way or the other. It was going to be absolutely fantastic, or it was going to be a real turkey, and that would have been the end of me, probably.